Hello everyone, my name is Mandilynn. I am the author of the young adult novel Essence and historical fantasy novel I Am Mercy, and today we're going to be talking about how to write a novel. So you have an idea for a novel and you've got all these great scenes in your head, but you don't know where to start. So today I'm going to talk about a few things. Going to talk about the research that goes into a novel, how to brainstorm, outline, and of course where you should start when it comes to actually writing the novel. The first step is always brainstorm. So before you can really jump into the bulk of actually writing the novel, you need to do a lot of brainstorming to figure out what the novel is really about. What brainstorming entails is just really writing down any idea that you have for your novel, whether it's good or bad. Discover what inspires you to write and work with that. If you get inspired by nature, start brainstorming in nature. You know, if the sounds of nature, the sounds of birds and the leaves, if that makes you feel like it just gives you an irking to write, stay in nature, take whatever ideas pop into your head and write them on paper. Do whatever it takes to get your creative juices flowing, and just remember that there's no such thing as a bad idea. So any idea for scenes, for characters, for emotions that you want to evoke in your novel, just write it down in a notebook and keep it all in one place. Once you are done brainstorming, it's time to move on to step 2, which is outlining your novel. So once you have a general idea of what you want your novel to be about, it's time to start thinking about the plot of your novel. You want to make sure that your novel has a clear drive. That way your readers will be sucked into the book and they know where the book is kind of going, so they feel like they need to hold on to it to see what happens next. To do this, it really does help to create an outline so you can visually see different scenes and different chapters. And really, when it comes to outlining, you can do it whichever way that makes you most comfortable. There's sticky notes, flashcards, a notepad. You can do it on your computer. It really doesn't matter, just whatever works for you and whichever way feels organized to you. Outlines by all means are not necessary. There are pantsers who like to just kind of write as they go and make things up as they go, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're a beginner, sometimes it may be easier for you to outline your novel first. I am notorious for writing an amazing outline, and then halfway through writing my novel I tend to abandon the outline completely. That's the method that works for me. It makes me feel organized at the beginning, and then once the story starts to take over, I just run with it. The third step we have is research. So usually as you're outlining your novel, you realize that there are some things that you may need to do research on before you can start writing. For example, if a character has some sort of disease and you don't necessarily know what that disease entails, you may want to do some research on it so you'll have the facts behind the symptoms and side effects of that disease that your character has. On the bright side, when you tend to do research, you usually get inspired for other ideas when it comes to writing your novel. So just Google away and just do as much research as you can so you can really delve into the world of your novel. This is especially true if you're writing something like a historical fantasy. I Am Mercy is a historical fantasy, so when I wrote it, I had to do a lot of research on the Black Plague because the bulk of the book takes place in France during the Black Plague, so I wanted to make sure I knew what the symptoms were, what it was like living during that time, and that sort of thing. And when I was doing that research, it gave me a lot of ideas for different scenes and different things that I could do with the plot. Our last step is writing the novel. So you've done the brainstorming, the research, the outlining, so now you feel like you're super inspired and you're ready to write, but you really have no clue where to start. Writing a novel is very overwhelming because it's a large project. It's not just like a 5-page paper that you're writing for high school. It's a 300-page paper that you're writing for fun. And while it may be writing for fun, you still want it to be good and you want others to hopefully read it someday. With that said, you are terrified to just start writing that first chapter. I like to say when it comes to starting to write, you just need to start somewhere. It doesn't matter where. It doesn't have to be that first chapter. It could be halfway through the novel. If you are inspired by a scene that is in the middle of the book, just start writing there. The only thing that's important is that you get the words on paper and that you continue to write after that. You can always write the beginning later on. If the middle of the book is what inspires you, then run with it. Also keep in mind that when you're writing your book, this is just the first draft. It's gonna be bad and you're gonna have to fix it, so don't worry about it too much. Just get the words on paper and you can worry about making it nice and pretty later on. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Let me know if you have any other additional tips for writing a novel down below. Otherwise, thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.